Our end base is getting along pretty well. We have the empty display rooms. We have our storage. I swear these guys just pretend to work when I get here. We've got some farms. But we still have to go to the overworld quite often to get some good stuff. And that's where we still have a bit of a problem, which is actually going back and forth from my base and the overworld. Going through a portal. Alright, so usually we pop out around here because I set my spawn in the stables. So this is the old village where we spent a lot of time in the beginning of the series. And we haven't worked here in a while, even though it's not finished. We did the zombie recruitment center fairly recently. Anywho, so I'll pop out here, and sometimes I do need to actually be here, but sometimes I just need to come to the overworld to gather some overworld things. So let's say we are here to get to our portal. We have to fly all the way over here, which isn't that far, but it uses up rockets, it uses up our elytra, it uses up my time, and you have to do it a few times every time you log into play and work on the world. It adds up. Alright, so here's the spot. Here's a big hole, and there's a portal, and there is, I think that's Sniffy, but I'm not sure. It's a pretty nice spot though. There is potential here for some builds, and I have a few plans in mind for the New Year's. But before doing any of that, we should probably make it a bit easier to actually just come here and not have to always do that back and forth from the old village. So in today's episode, we're going to turn the bottom of this hole into a new overworld base, which we're going to call the bunker. But before doing much of anything, some preparations are in order. Let's go over to this side of the office and grab a book and quill. Let's rename it to the bunker. And hey, we're calling it the bunker for now. But if you guys have any better ideas, let me know in the comments, and I'm open to changing it. And you know what? I'm having a hard time thinking. Maybe we should have a thinking chair. Ah, that's better. We're gonna need a source of food. We're gonna need a bed. An actual bedroom would be nice. We're gonna want some sort of storage for while we're actually working around the overworld. Ideally, some backup rockets. Because also, we aren't living in the friendliest part of the world. Sometimes things happen. If we die out here, we respawn really far away from our stuff. So we're gonna want some backup gear. And maybe the most useful would be an easy way to and from the bunker from the surface, so that we can stop throwing ourselves down a hole. Alright, so this is what it looks like at the moment. It's really just a cleaned up hole. We do have a quick, technically safe way down. But yeah, otherwise all around us is just an old stronghold, all beaten up. So I'm just gonna go walk around, start digging a bit, and laying out the floor plan of the place. And I'll bring us back in when I have a bit more of an idea of what we're doing, because I have not planned this out ahead of time, so I don't know where everything is gonna go. But hey, look, tough. Alright, that's better, or it has a lot more character. So this would be the main hub of the bunker. We have our portal here, and this is about the shape and dimensions we're gonna go with. Not too big, not too small, but we have enough place to put most of our stuff that we're gonna need in. So this is a hub. This will be the bedroom. Over here, this leads off to the rest of the stronghold and the mine shaft, but we're gonna keep it accessible, but we're not gonna do anything with it today. Over here is the library, which we're gonna keep access to. I don't know if we're gonna do anything with it today. We might end up using it as an actual library and maybe setting up an enchanting setup over there. But let's not forget that our main base is still in the end, which, you know, access to is right here. So there's no use, I think, right now of like putting too much in here and over engineering it. We might keep it as such and maybe use that as an extra storage room if we need it. But yeah, so this is the main size. Now we do have a few things we're gonna have to work around. For one, the bedroom has a bit of a leak. This is our way in and out right now, but we're not gonna want to keep it here because I think it just kind of sucks to have a big hole in the middle of the bedroom. And these stairs, they're right here right now. They're gonna have to go over here. The reason being, if we were to go here, go through this wall and go up, it leads us to just about here on the surface. But I have a plan for the surface over here, and I don't want to cover it up with some weird thingy here. But part of the fun of this bigger hole was that we could use the gas, which you can kind of see poking through here, to fly some mobs over in boats and then just drop them down the hole and then bring them to the end through our portal. But if we cover this up with a roof and a ceiling, we can't really do that. So I think we're going to go through this wall here and have some kind of elevator for us and for the mobs. Well, at least for the mobs, it's more so it's going to be like a drop and an elevator for us. Now for the actual palette of the place, kind of came up with it with my better half, but here's what it's going to look like. We're going to have a trimming on the bottom of the wall, like such. We have chiseled deep slate with some polished deep slate for the walls. And the floor, we're going to go with something like this. So we're going to go tough on the outer edges. And then that green color kind of goes well with some dark prismarine. So we kind of have something that looks clean, solid, kind of clinical. And I think it's going to give a really cool vibe to the place. And as for the lighting, instead of spamming some torches and lanterns, we're going to do something like this. So copper bulbs that we're going to kind of hide a little bit into the walls like such. So now let's go ahead and give this place a makeover. Alright, so there go the walls and the floor, and I think it's quite a vibe. I do feel like it's starting to feel kind of bunkery, but I'm kind of hesitating about what I want to do for the ceiling. I've been throwing around some ideas between concrete and maybe even glass and then seeing the sky, and part of me thinks that maybe we could just continue with the polished deep slate. Now it does risk feeling kind of samey, and there we are. So I have gone ahead and added some stairs and some chains here just to kind of like round it out a bit and frame the ceiling somewhat, and I think it looks good. So now I think the best thing to do would be to work on this side of the bunker, which is going to be the main entrance and exit for the bunker. What you think? So I just want y'all to know, if the microphone and my voice sounds funny and is inconsistent throughout the video, I am working on it, and I'll try to make it better for the next one. I got a new mic, and it is better. I'm like sure of it. I can hear a difference, but I've had to retweak my settings, and you know, it's just a little different. Anywho, here's the entrance. I was planning on a fancy time lapse again with like some talking and some cool edits, but I like changed this up a few times, so let's just walk through it together. I didn't break my head too much for the walls and the floor and the lighting. I kept it on theme, what we have so far. Tunnel is the same thing as this, and it's repetitive, but what you gonna do about it? Now for the way in and out, this is what we've done. So the first idea was to have two sides, an entrance and an exit, but then I remember that you can make one that is bi-directional. Pretty sure the first time I saw this was in Cubfan's base in season 10 of Hermitcraft. What I didn't foresee is that my little honey farm is not powerful enough for this. It took me like 2 hours, if not more, to get this many honey blocks. So instead, chests are the same size as honey blocks. So with the chests here, we get pretty much the same effect. So let's test her out. It's a pretty long elevator. And like I mentioned before, we're going to keep this pretty wide open. We'll make it nicer eventually. I don't know if it's today's episode or in another episode. But we're going to make at least a little something to cover this up. But I'm not going to make the hole much smaller than it is now, because I do want to be able to just pop mobs down there easily. You think what I'm thinking? It's a big bat, dude. What? Can't leash him. Just pop this down here. Hey, yeah, you want to trade? There you go, buddy. Now, he should be safe in a boat, but I'm pretty sure with the honey blocks, they can survive the fall anyways. Myself, we have regen. I don't know if it affects these guys, but basically, we take like a heart or two of damage, but we have feather falling, and with the regen, we're totally fine to drop down that distance. And with the boat, they should be totally fine as well. I just unleash him here? Eh. Well, honestly, there you go. Whoa. Alright, down you go. Down you guys go. They're fine. Alright, so we're gonna let them visit the place. And while they're doing that, here's our next spot we're gonna work in. So this, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be the bedroom. Now at first, I did have a plan to put like a big lava lamp wall on this side. Just because I feel like it's one of those things that I see people do like in old Minecraft. And I never really played old Minecraft. I started playing like over just a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half, a year and a quarter now. But I did do like a little mini lava lamp in my first world. But if we just back up a little bit, and then if you come to where I am, doesn't this just make the perfect little nook for the actual bed and little cozy chilling area? It's all like enclosed and protected, and it's a bit darker, so it kind of lends itself to sleeping a bit, you know? And then on this wall, I think we could have our little mini storage area. I don't want to make it too big. If we need to have a bulk storage for some reason, we'll do it over there. As I said, our end base is just through that portal, and we have our sorting system, so I don't see the interest of having too much storage here. If I have too much storage here, I might just end up dragging a little bit too much. Alright, so this took a bit of back and forth between designs, but I think we've got something that is quite cozy. So it's quite snug, but I think we have pretty much all we need just to get by in the bunker in terms of like tools and stuff. But for our workstations and some storage, I think we're well off for now. We have Manfred here to help me out, although he really likes to get stuck on this corner here, but otherwise he does kind of do his job. Kinda. We do have the bed area like I had mentioned earlier, and I tried to come up with some kind of unique design for the bed, which is why it's bedtime, which is why we have this sort of thing. And I kind of see this kind of like floating hammock bed, kind of like a pod. I don't really know, I just thought it was neat. That's why we have it hanging up from here. We have these like little fixtures to hold the bed. So yeah, we have our bed, we have a few little decorations to make it cozy, and we did end up incorporating our little lava lamp. Turning around, we have the more workstation side of the room. So we have our workstations here, all behind the shelves. I think it makes it look quite neat. We can get potions, and we have a little water source here to get some bottles. And over here we have little Manfred's workstation, so he can kind of help us out to get these things sorted, and he has been working a little bit. I'm helping him out because, like, see this one here, we're gonna put stuff in it, otherwise he's never gonna put anything else other than sand in there. But I'm not too fussed about it because we're not going to be using this storage too much. So yeah, I think this is the room pretty much done. Well, hi buddy. All right, so now with that done, let's see what else is on our list. It's been about, I think, 12 minutes for you guys, but it's been a bit longer for me, so I'm losing track of what the scope was of this project. All right, let's see if what we wrote made sense. Wow. Okay, easy entrance. Map. Oh, that could be cool. That's not done. Okay, so maybe I set the scope of this too big at the beginning. We'll want to keep expanding this, but for one episode, it's quite a bit of work. That is, unless you guys make me full time. Okay, I'm just kidding. We'll put these with to do. Bedroom is done. Storage is done as well. So I think the next focus could be food here, because I have an idea. Let's just put this back to not lose it. So this is going to require a flyback to the old village. Alright, so on the far end of the village, behind the recruitment center right here, we have a little door with some peeps inside. That, my friends, was my sad excuse of a villager breeder. Let's go to here, and then over here, and then over here. No, here. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then, are these full? They're not full, but they have some. What we're gonna do is go over to my item frames are gone. That must be because of when I took the invisible item frames thing and then I took it off and I put it back. Are my trim's gone as well? No, not a single carrot. Oh, this really sucks. Well, I have a bit more work cut out for me. In between episodes now. I think what hurts the most is all my armor trims are just gone, dude. That's where I stored them. I had them on invisible item frames so that it just looks like the trim is there laying down. And then, yeah, we could take them and duplicate them, but all my originals are gone. Oh, maybe cookies will work. I don't remember where I got all the cookies. Let's see. You guys enjoy cookies? Apparently not. We're gonna bring some of these guys over to our base over there and get a farmer so we can get some golden carrots. Alright, voila, les villageois. I have a few ideas of what I might want to do with them. At first I really just wanted the farmer villager, but maybe having these guys will allow me to trade a bit more to get emeralds. So one thought was that I could stick them like here in the main hallway. So just like dig this out and have them be there. Okay, this guy has looting. That's pretty good to have. What do you have? You're a toolsmith. Oh, you know what? We might want to get a bell so that they don't despawn. I don't know if it's actually necessary, but I know that I had some in the big tower at one point and they did despawn. So let's hook this guy up with some cash and get ourselves a bell. Money? Do I have? I have no money. Okay, how much we need? 36? Don't move. All right, now to go to our stash, which is hidden just behind here. 37. All right, should be good. Thank you. All right, so where to put these guys? All right, so I think we're gonna go with this route for now, which is just stick them in here, so it's not too. Oh, he's a big boy now. So it's not too complicated, and maybe it doesn't look the best, but we can make something nicer in the future if I so desire. So I've just been doing is just baiting them with a good night's rest, so that they go in here, and then I can just trap them in. And yeah, I realized afterwards that these guys are not guaranteed to actually give me carrots, but that's fine. We just said food. We just said food, and you can give me food, right? Yeah. So we're gonna slowly but surely trade these guys up anyways, see what we can get. And even if it isn't the pumpkins, I mean the golden carrots, I don't mind too much. It'll just be more varied that way. Oh. Whoops. That's a whole lot of cookies. Master, and he gives carrots. Well, that turned out well. Go back to our ender chest, grab our bunker book, and we can confirm that food is taken care of. Alright, so I realize that this episode is getting a wee bit on in time. So, if you look here at our list of stuff that we want for the bunker, we have like main things pretty much done. There are two here that are not on our procrastination list. I think backup gear. I do have a box of backup gear started at my old house over in the overworld over that way. But if you want to make it worthwhile, it's going to take a little bit more time because we don't just want like tools. Probably want them to be netherite and well enchanted. The map on the other hand, now that could be pretty sweet. And it wouldn't be that timely. Or that timely? That time consuming. Makes more sense. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the map, and then I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm probably going to keep on working on this project, but I tend to like do an episode on one project, and then with the amount of time it takes me to do that in real life, next episode I usually hop on to another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then eventually we come back to the original one. So I'll leave it up to you. If you want to see these other things in the bunker, then let me know down in the comments, and we'll be sure to do that in one of the following episodes. And I think if we dedicate this size and this portion, that should be enough. So it's quite big, but it's not too huge. And we could probably find some kind of cool design to set it in a bit. Maybe kind of like a TV or a monitor. Okie dokie, so here is the map. Now, I will admit, it's a bit empty because we're in an underground bunker. So, we've not much to show for the map. But at least we'll be able to track our progress. And I do want to decorate this a bit more, but I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit short on ideas right now. And I kind of want to work on something else. So we'll say that our map is done, and then we can, for sure, once we start like doing stuff on the surface around here, then we can update these maps and they'll be pretty cool. So now with all of this done, we do have a good part of our initial problem with transport to and from the end base taken care of. Maybe on the next one we'll work on the actual portals in the end dimension to make those a bit more friendly, or maybe we do something up on the surface. In any case, my rocket is what? That's okay. As I was saying, with that being done, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Let me know what you think down in comments, and hey, if you did enjoy it, then maybe think about sharing with a friend and hitting that subscribe button. In any case, I'll see you in the next one. See ya!